On August 31st, 2022, the 110-year-old USS Texas is hauled 40 miles by 4 tugboats from the Houston Channel to a shipyard in Galveston, Texas, for repairs. The Texas is, in fact, the only surviving battleship that endured both World War I and World War II. The ship sailed multiple missions in the North Sea during World War I. She also served as the flagship of the U.S. fleet between the wars from 1927 to 1931. During World War II, the Texas escorted convoys across the Atlantic and shelled enemy forces during the U.S. landings in North Africa and Normandy. She was transferred to the Pacific in late 1944, providing naval support at both Iwo Jima and Okinawa. The Texas, in fact, was the only Allied battleship to take part in all 4 of these amphibious assaults. She was part of many firsts in U.S. naval history. She was the first U.S. battleship to mount anti-aircraft guns, the first U.S. warship to control gunfire with directors and rangekeepers, the first U.S. battleship to launch an aircraft, the first battleship in the world to be outfitted with 14-inch guns, and one of the first U.S. Navy warships to receive production radar. The Texas was decommissioned in 1948, less than 3 years after the end of World War II. Unlike many other such vessels, she was not scrapped after the war, but was turned over to the state of Texas and became the first U.S. battleship to serve as a permanent museum ship, moored in the Port of Houston at Battleground Park. In 1976, she became the first battleship to be named a U.S. National Historic Landmark. By the 2020s, the ship's upkeep had proven difficult due to a leaky hull. The Texas received $95 million in state and federal funds and was moved to dry dock in Galveston for repairs. By the middle of 2025, she had moved out of dry dock and was in the final stages of restoration. The effort is expected to be completed by the end of 2025, when she will continue in her role as a museum ship, but with a new home at the Port of Galveston. Here are other events that happened today in history. In AD 12, Caligula, who becomes Rome's emperor at age 24 but is later assassinated, is born near Rome. In 1886, an earthquake strikes near Charleston, South Carolina, killing more than 100 people. In 1888, infamous London serial killer Jack the Ripper murders his first victim, Polly Nichols. In 1897, Edison receives a patent for his kinetograph, the world's first motion picture camera. In 1992, an 11-day standoff in Ruby Ridge, Idaho ends when Randy Weaver surrenders to authorities. In 1997, Diana, Princess of Wales, and 2 others die in a car crash in a tunnel in Paris. In 2023, an Iranian weightlifter is banned from competition for life for shaking hands with an Israeli athlete. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. Which former U.S. Vice President was charged with treason? John C. Calhoun, George M. Dallas, Spiro Agnew, or Aaron Burr? Think you know the answer? Drop your guesses in the comments below. Find out if you're right next time on Today in History. You made it through Today in History. Nice work. Now treat yourself. Click the video on the right for what happened yesterday in history. Still can't get enough? The link on the left's got the whole playlist buffet. Want to make history a daily habit? Click my face in the middle to subscribe.